freak. They think I'm crazy, but I'm just unique. Even though I'm living high, I'm never living free. Sometimes I feel nobody understands me. Some things I'm sure are easily remembered. Some things I'd rather forget. I spent my life trying to deliver, and I ain't finished yet. Got time now to make up for the wrongs that pushed me out and brought me down. No more will I...
Josh, welcome back.
Hey Baz, thank you so much for having me back.
Absolute pleasure. Now, exciting stuff. You've released a new single and the new album was done. So congratulations on getting the job done, because you went down the crowdfunding path. Now, that's not always an easy path to go. So tell us about the experience.
About this time last year, I was actually at Blues on the Hill talking about the crowdfunding campaign and trying to promote it. And it really came from my friends and my followers who said, if you do a crowdfunding campaign, we'll support you. And so I teamed up with Possible, who were super supportive and super helpful. And I put it out there, spent a little bit of money on advertising, and across 2 months I managed to raise about just over $5,000, and after taking off the fees back to Possible, I had enough. And it was never, the intention was never to fund the entire recording process or the entire project altogether. It was just to get a little bit of something to fund the process after recording, because the recording all pretty much came out of my own pocket.
The City Within. Why is it called The City Within? How'd you come up with that one?
Yeah, well, I was looking through all the lyrics, trying to find something that connected them all, or some lyric that really summed up the whole record, which is what a lot of bands do, and I couldn't really find one. But the way I see it, a lot of blues and a lot of country and a lot of folk is based around country living and dirt living, and really kind of old-fashioned, just building it up from the ground up and kind of rising to the ranks. And for me, and that's not me at all. I was born into a middle-class working family in East Brighton, so I'm the furthest thing from a typical country and blues singer-songwriter. But what I make up for is I have this kind of perspective on the city, and whether we like it or not, whenever we go out into the city or whenever we go out and meet other people, we're choosing what we let in and what we want to resonate with. So there's songs here, there's a song on there that was inspired by going into an op shop and writing down as many objects as I could. There's a protest song about all the venues closing down in the city. And so it's kind of just a unique perspective on city living. And
how would you describe the album to someone who's never heard Joshua Batten before?
Okay, well, I guess it's a different way of looking at life, and there's a bit of blues, there's a bit of rock, a bit of folk, a bit of country, but it's all straight from my heart.
That's the important thing. You play with passion, you play with soul, and like you say, the music comes straight from your heart, and that's what people hear when when you hear music like that. You feel it, and you know it's real. And the effort that's gone into this album is absolutely awesome. Just looking at the pre-release copy with your booklet, you got your booklet in there. The artwork by Jason is awesome. The way it's displayed. You've also got all the songs with little intros to them. It's just
something we tried to carry over from the last record, which was just a basic jewel case. Everything on this record is a whole step up from the last one. One of the producers from the last record came back. We had two on the first one, and this one I just worked one-on-one with Sean O'Sullivan. In fact, at one point, the album was almost going to be called One-on-One because we were just going to build up all the parts separately. But as time went on, I realized, you know what, I don't have time or money to hire a bass player or a keyboard player or another guitarist and tell them exactly how I want it. So just about everything on the record, except the drums, some strings, some percussion, and some of the backing vocals, is yours truly.
And whereabouts did you put it together?
So I did this with Sean O'Sullivan at Highway 9 Studios, which is now in Croydon. It was in Ringwood when we did the first record, but he's now moved and built a beautiful bungalow, which can't recommend enough. He does recording there, and he does some video stuff there as well. So.
And all original.
Absolutely,
All songs were written by Joshua Batten. 10 original tracks. That's a wonderful thing.
Well, 10 plus 2. So the actual album itself, the main story is of the city within, if you can call it that, is the first 10 tracks. And then at the end, there's actually 2 encore tracks. And I call them encore tracks because I think they're not necessarily bonus tracks because they're just as good as, in my mind, as the other 2. I put a lot of work into them, but these are older tracks from my very first demo from back in 2014, and they've now been finally spruced up and given the proper rock and roll treatment. And one of them is actually the single that is coming out on Friday, which is Hollywood Blues.
So you bought the guitar in, and you got a brand new song that you want to show us.
Yeah.
So tell us about this one.
Yeah, so I know you love your blues, Baz. This is called Little Black Box. Way back in high school, when we were just 13, you were always lewd and rude while I was far too clean. Now I'm locked and loaded for evenings on the town. Need you standing there by my side, but lately you ain't been around. Pick up your little black box, send me a message. I'll go one step further, give me a call. Pick up your little black box and keep this train in motion. 'Cause if you hit these brakes, I'm gonna fall. You say I've got potential, you say I could go far. You talk me up to reel me in, make me think I'm gonna be a star. Now, I can't make you love me, but based on what you said, I thought within a day or two you'd still have me in your head. Pick up your little black box and send me a message. I'll go one step further and give me a call. Pick up your little black box and keep this train in motion. 'Cause if you hit these brakes, I'm gonna fall. Just because I see a green circle doesn't mean I'll get a reply. My messages keep getting lost somewhere in the sky. Why can't we all be honest and say what we really feel? Yes, I might take it personally, but at least it would be real. Pick up your little black box and send me a message. I'll go one step further and give me a call. Yeah, pick up your little black box and keep this train in motion. 'Cause if you hit these brakes, I'm gonna fall. Said if you hit these brakes, I'm gonna fall. Said if you hit these brakes, I think I'm gonna fall.
Oh yeah, absolutely awesome stuff there from Joshua Batten. Now, if you want to hear more of that, and a hell of a lot more than that, tell us about an evening with Joshua Batten. Tell us about what's going on.
Yeah, so this is the biggest show I've ever attempted to do, and it really is that. It's a show. It's not just a typical gig, come down, stand at the back, drink a bit of beer. This is really a sit-down, evening with show, inspired by really my guitar heroes, Eric Clapton, Joe Bonamassa, Rory Gallagher, all those guys. But with enough of me thrown in as well. So it's going to start with an acoustic set, and as that first set goes on, we'll bring on more musicians, and then the second set is a full-on rock show with we're going to extend some songs out. There'll be a couple of guests, and yeah, it's really the first chance I've had. I'm getting to play the songs from the album live the way they were intended, which was with a full band and with these proper arrangements.
Got photography and art exhibitions as well.
Yeah, so
Tell us about that.
I wanted to give thanks to Jason Rosewarne, who's been my photographer for the last year and a half, I want to say, and to Renee Garling, who has done an amazing job adding some life and some color and a whole other dimension to the artwork on this new album. So, and at the same time, I feel like we really need to celebrate the arts culture of Melbourne in all its forms. So yeah, I'm gonna give Jason and Renee a blackboard each to put whatever they want on it as you come into the foyer of the David Williamson Theatre in Paran. And I'll probably have some slideshows going during intermission as well. So it's a full multimedia extravaganza, I guess. Yeah.
Awesome. Thursday, September the 19th, the David Williamson Theatre, 54 St John Street, Paran. The doors are open at 6 p.m. Showtime is at 7:30. And the tickets available online at the moment, Joshua?
Yeah,
How
so
can they get them?
So tickets through Try Booking, the easiest way, I think, would be to go to joshuabatten.com.au, and right there should be a link to the actual ticket page.
So it's an evening with Joshua Batten. It is the Hollywood Blues single launch, 2 sets acoustic and electric, guest musicians, photography, art exhibitions. Thursday, September the 19th. Put it in your diary, people. Put it in there right now. David Williamson Theatre, 54 St John Street, Paran. Doors 6 o'clock, showtime 7:30. Try booking.
And I can tell you now, half the tickets are already gone. So
Well done.
yeah,
Awesome stuff.
So if you want to be there, you got to get in, folks. We're not selling tickets on the door, so
There you go. So it's all pre-sold. So get onto it before you miss out. Thanks for dropping back into Blues on the Hill. Get out there and support this wonderful.
And thank you so much, Baz, for having me.